Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
People over 30, which body aches do you have? Check knees light comes on intermittently. Liver's not too happy with me either. Check knee light's been on since I was 15. Now it's the elbow, too. I remember getting ready for a trip with my dad to dirt bike in the mountains. He jumped off the trailer and groaned real loud explaining, I always hear people talk about their knees going out but I never felt it until now. He was 60. I was 36. At the time my knees had been going out for a decade. Then again my dad and granddad are both fit. Not just for their age but in general. My granddad was helping my dad put up a fence a couple years ago at the age of 94. Heartache when I look at my bank balance. Lower back and shoulders, neck. Shoulders, neck over here also. It's where I hold all my stress, and with everything happening right now, it's getting more tense. If you have access to a pull-up bar or a park close by, look into dead hangs. They've helped a lot with my shoulder and back pain, plus they have the added benefit of increasing your grip strength. Highly recommend. None, I'm begging you all to move more. I move too much and now my ankle's balked from ballet. My sister did that for 15 years. I love her but she has the fuggliest toes I have ever seen. I find it wild how we normalize being in pain and have issues at the age of 30, that is incredibly young, you're not even halfway through life. Yeah, I agree, it shouldn't be seen as normal to have chronic pain at 30. I'm a few years past 30 and do not have any regular chronic pain. Sometimes yes, sometimes movement did the damage. On average folks could stand to do a lot more activity. But old sports injuries and breaks are the stuff that gets everyone eventually. Some mornings I still have a sore hip from a high school skiing accident. Didn't even break anything. Yoga theoretically helps. Yoga and light walking have been lifesavers for me. Everything everywhere all at once. A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy. All of them. More like which body aches don't I have, am I right? 63, no aches or pains, yet. You're definitely doing something right. I'm sure it's a bit genetic. But I want to mention that there are great studies on how to stay alive, healthy, and happy, and if I recall correctly, you really don't have to do anything crazy, just keep moving, eat good food, and keep good company. Studies from the blue zones, places where people live longer, show that you really don't need to do much. For example, the most common physical activities for these people is walking and gardening. Low-impact stuff that keeps you moving. Also, one of the surprising takeaways for me was that it's actually really important to keep your balance, because falling and breaking a knee or hip or whatever often causes a really serious downward spiral. The other two, eating good food and keeping good company, aren't necessarily easy, but they are both fun and keep you healthy. I do feel bad for people who live in areas where it's hard to get good food or where socializing is extremely difficult, which is a lot of people, though. There's a decent series on the Blue Zones, https://www.netflix.com/title/81214929. Herniated back disc and accompanying sciatica. Going on 7 months for this flare-up. I'm 25 and just suffered this injury. I've been told that I'll likely have to deal with flare-ups for the rest of my life. Tough pill to swallow at such a young age. It thought I'd have another good 10 years before I'd start having back issues, sad face. My, do as I say, not as I do, is work to keep your core strong. The stronger it is, the better I do. It's when I slack off and fall off the wagon that I get tweaked and hurt. Also, if you can, dead hang. Makes me feel wonderful for a bit. Obviously avoid if it hurts too much, but God, a dead hang helps so much. Feet, plantar fasciitis, muscle aches in arms, shoulders, lower back. Plantar fasciitis is a word that I never heard until my 30s, but now I feel it daily. I thought I had this, but I think it's actually gout. None of them. I go to the gym regularly, I don't try to push through injuries, I use weights and routines I feel comfortable with, I try to get enough sleep, and I don't work a manual labor job. I'm nearing 40 and gotta say, after making some lifestyle changes a few years ago, I feel about as good as I have since I was probably 17. I don't bounce back as fast after minor tweaks or big workouts, but as long as I stretch and don't push through discomfort, I have been golden. Same. I'm late 30s, started exercising and I feel, and look, the best since I was 18 or so. Knees hurt if I use them too much, but other than that, things are going well. Every new pain is just a quick little research project to figure out how to coax it back to life. Exactly, 30 is not old, people should not be having random aches and pains. If they feel this way at 30, what's 80 going to feel like? Fearful face. I feel like most of the people I know with aches and pains don't do any exercise. I can have sympathy for those that had an injury, illness, or work a manual labor job. But if you're just an office worker complaining about back and knee pain when your biggest activity is watching Netflix, I can't say I care very much. I get headaches, but that's mostly because people irritate me. Headache and eye spasm. Fuck, I hate people. My lower back from having birthed kids. Update, this is both from pregnancy late in life and picking them up once they were born. They get heavy so fast. Sore moms, I feel you. I don't hurt from having kids, but I hurt from having kids. Bursitis from birthing kids. I can no longer run at all without having sore hips for weeks. Ugh, big same. I used to be a marathon runner and last year something weird clicked in my hip on my first kilometer. Was out for 6 months loudly crying. I'm sorry, but is that like a permanent side effect of pregnancy, giving birth? Fuck this, I ain't doing that then loudly crying. I've had crippling back pain since I had my firstborn at 19. My second and last at 28 hasn't made it any better. Possibly not. I had bad groin and hip pain on one side after my second kid that would hurt me when I walked quickly or for more than a few minutes, and it just went away on its own. It was early pandemic, so I never saw anyone about it, but I'm fine now. Hiking, walking, blah blah blah. Plenty of other scary health reasons not to have kids though loudly crying. Some of it is from having kids. Some of it is from carrying kids. Also, I'm pretty old. I had kids very late in life. Nice try, United Healthcare. Shoulders, sometimes I will lose some feeling in my hands. I think that's a nerve issue in your neck actually. It is. Source, I have this issue. Go to PT for neck tension. If you can't afford, don't have access to part. Look up on YouTube PT exercised for your neck. Most likely you have crazy muscle tension, thus inflammation, thus trapping your nerves. Just my ass. Our parents' generation really did a number on it. This is all spoken metaphorically, of course. I swear my ass will never recover from being a choir boy for the local church. Whoever decided pews don't need cushions is a monster. My wallet. 43M, absolutely no body aches to speak of. I don't feel any differently than I did when I was 30. Backache mostly lol. Feet and knees lol. Oh, and the hips. Oh my hips. 44 here. Nothing really. Some lower back stuff if I tax it on a bike ride or at the gym. Sometimes shoulder issues when I sleep. All in all, pretty lucky. Knees, hips, wrists. Played hockey for 14 plus years and have felt it every day since. I'm 37 now, been playing hockey since I was 7. It's taking time off from the game that hurts the most. Not only do I miss the game, but everything stiffens up so quickly and makes it that much harder to get back on the ice. Just staying regular with getting out there makes it easier. I went from hockey to judo, which is a different type of ache. Hockey was pain all the time, which is why I ended up quitting. Every game was like being in a car crash. Judo is just constant soreness. I prefer that to the pain and aches from hockey. Lower back, knees, and my bowels appear to be looser and more delicate every passing year. A couple of years ago, I got injured and decided to make it a habit to move my body every day. Nothing extreme, just sustainable lifestyle changes. I've never felt better. I don't have any constant pain like I used to. It doesn't have to be a lot. I do daily stretching 15 to 25 minutes per day and it's been great. Knee, shoulder pain and other stiffness is slowly going away. For me on a daily basis it's both my hips, left knee, lower back and right foot with a few others that come and go. Same, only swap the knee and foot, add a gibbled left shoulder and an obliterated psyche and we could be twins. Why do you have so much pain? Are you doing anything to try and correct it? I have a repetitive strain injury from working at a grocery store in college, but I've minimized it with exercise, stretching, and rest. Nice try, United Healthcare. Pre-existing condition my ass. Writes down ass pain. Every morning, something which didn't ache the night before now aches. Oh, and there are at least 2 new bruises about the origins of which I know absolutely nothing. My neck, my back, my windshield just got cracked. None. Chronic tension, headaches, neck pain, back pain, sciatic pain, restless legs, TMJ, IBSAANND, the list goes on. I'm 32. None. I'm thankful every day for how mobile I am. I heard the reason old people move slow is because everything hurts. I do cardio and weight training 4 days a week just so I can try to maintain what I've got. Bad cartilage in right knee, 58. I usually have to take 4 Advils to get around. I was a valet for years and the stop motion did the damage. Carpal tunnel, man. Surgery is expensive and I need both hands done. Losing eyesight is the worst. I don't care about pain. And, you know what is crazy? Well, in my case, at least, it happened to me overnight, or so it seemed. I have had perfect sight all of my life. About a year ago, I started noticing that the up-close things started to get a little blurry. No warning, no gradual blurriness, but straight to, you need glasses. I didn't notice it at all. It just hit me all at once. Where my herniated disc grew at. I'm 42 next week and nothing really. I've always been very agile and fidgety. I still run up and down stairs. Still sit with my knees up or like I did at school. I've most likely caused internal damage from smoking but not feeling it yet. My head every time I realize what this world is. My shoulders are always stiff and my dogs be barkin', especially that last pinky toe. As opposed to the first pinky toe. I do a lot of working out and literally everything hurts constantly. Gymnastics is not good if you have multiple torn ligaments, tendons, and yet I keep coming back, almost 40.